When she was stopped right there, I went around.
Okay.
And then she darted and hit me. She was at a stop. I would have missed her.
But she was in her lane the whole time.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, all I'm saying is there's no way that she hit you.
There is a way.
Because you came over to her lane.
I didn't come into her lane. She darted on me.
Here's the bottom line. This is where our investigation has led us to.
Okay. Seemed great. I don't know. We were going down Myrtle. I stopped and I was looking at this other gladiator, kind of looking at it. Some lady went crazy behind me. So I go up and go around and she fucking sideswipes me.
We're at Myrtle.
Myrtle and almost turned, like just probably about, I don't know, 50 feet past Turner. She wouldn't stop, so we videotaped her running through all, and then I called you guys, and then she's like, well, go ahead and just stop. So when we got the tag and everything, we just pulled over.
Which lane were you in? The right lane or left lane?
The left lane, because when she came over, I tried to go around her, and she went even further.
So you were in the
left lane.
You were in the left lane. She was in the right lane.
Yeah. And then she tried to cut us off, so I kind of went around her, and she just went forward.
What do you mean, try to get in front of you?
Yeah.
And then what, did you speed up, and then she hit you, or what?
I didn't need to speed up. I was going. I just went around, and then she went even further into me.
Okay. I'm trying to paint the picture here.
She's up here. Right. I'm going up here. She goes like this. I go like this, and then she goes.
Okay. So she tried to get ahead of you and come over.
Oh no, she wanted to nail me.
Why?
She was freaking out.
Why was she freaking out?
Because prior to that, at the stoplight by that liquor store, I was looking at this. I slowed down a little bit, and I was looking at this badass Jeep Gladiator, and she was just.
Is this the suspect vehicle that you were looking at?
No, it's another vehicle. She's in a blue one, but she starts laying on the fucking horn, and I'm like, "What, lady?" You know, and just in my head, she was pissed. By the time I got up, I was like, "Oh." So I slid over to the other lane. We were just going to take a left over at Drew.
Was this, so you're going south on Myrtle?
Huh? I smiled at her. I said, see there?
Man, of like,
as
soon as it hit, I said, oop. And it shows her trying to run from us and everything.
Yeah, whatever you got, just send it to me.
Okay.
Hey, no,
Hello.
All right.
I'm Kurt.
How you doing, George?
Nice to meet you.
Can you explain to me again what you're saying?
Yeah, so I'll show you the damage on the vehicle. There's a little bit of scratch here on the wheel, and here you can see it looks like it got hit from behind. If you feel this, you can feel it got pushed forward. So I don't think she hit them. It looks like it went like this. I mean, if she did hit them, they had to be moving forward. But she said it was two lanes, obviously, going down Myrtle. You can also see they pulled this off, so they did swipe it there. She said she was at, I think, Chestnut on the right, in the right lane. She said there were a couple cars, I think there were a couple cars behind this car. I forget how she said it, but they were sitting there flipping off somebody in the left lane at the traffic light. And the light was green. So she said she honked so they would go, and then they turned around and started flipping her off. So she had to go. They went, she went, and then she said she was trying to get around them so that, she was away from them. And then they swerved back around her further on down the street. She said it was probably a few blocks down past Chestnut that they started following her and swerved around her.
Why didn't she call the police?
She called me and said, I think I need to call the police. But she said, but they're following me. And so I said, I don't know how to tell the police to find you if you're driving, and I don't want you to stop because if there's somebody following you. So we were on the phone trying to figure out, should she go to the police department or to the sheriff's department, or where should she go while they were still following her. And then at some point she turned and she said they quit following her. But it sounded like if she got out of her vehicle, something might happen. So I told her, okay, she was about 5 blocks down or whatever, said just meet me up here and then I'll take a look and see what happens.
So how did you get to her in the Jeep?
She just drove it back here. I just walked down the street a few blocks and said, just meet me so I can see you coming. And we just met a couple blocks down there.
So she's at home?
Yeah, so I took her up to her place in Palm Harbor and dropped her off.
So she's up in Palm Harbor?
Yes.
obviously it doesn't look good how she left from the scene. She didn't contact the police, anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I told her I didn't think we needed to because I didn't see $500 worth of damage. Obviously, I can't see the other car, so I
yeah,
don't know
but
what
regardless, if somebody's involved in a traffic crash, they can't just leave the scene.
happened. Okay, well, that was on me then, because she said, I think we should call the police, and I said, I don't know what we need to do yet.
I mean, she's a grown adult, so I mean,
Yeah.
she should know that.
Yeah, well, I guess I shouldn't have said anything to her then, because that's what she wanted to do.
Hey, it's Officer Salaki. How are you, sir?
How are you doing, Officer Salaki?
Good. You got a minute?
I do.
All right. So I just made contact with the registered owner, a white male. So basically, he was saying that his fiance was coming down the road, and he said that I guess you guys were looking at another vehicle or something, and I don't know who honked at who, and then I guess she honked at you guys to go, and then he was saying, and this is all coming from him. I haven't talked to her yet. She's on her way back here to talk to me.
Yes, sir.
She said it was some kind of a road rage incident between the two of you, and then she was scared, and that's the reason why she didn't stop. So
I definitely wasn't participating, and we're trying to clip this video to send it to you.
Got in front of the vehicle and brake checked us and blocked off the oncoming traffic lane.
When you see her face to face, you'll probably be able to tell a lot more. She was flipping out. I didn't know that. I didn't, I was going to just go around her because she went to brake deck us taking up 2 lanes into my lane.
right.
So I just went to go around her, and I was going to take a left and just go the other way. She just punched right into us. She was pissed.
I'm going to conduct an interview with her, and then go from there.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to let you know. I mean, I obviously, she did leave the scene. So you're not supposed to leave the scene. I'm going to explain to her that.
Okay.
Obviously, the guy's being cooperative because he's going to pick her up and bring her back down here. So
Right.
I don't know what do you want the outcome to be from this? Because usually with a hit and run, the suspect is usually not cooperative and they don't come back to talk to us. So
Right. I mean, I had a lot planned today.
Right.
And, we're both going to go in and get checked. I just go talk to my lawyer. He said, go in and get checked because I feel sick as shit. But it's not from that. I know it's from nerves, but we're going to go get checked and do the full thing. And
Okay.
I was getting ready. All I was waiting for from you was the report number and that so I could go do a claim on my insurance. The whole side of my car is jacked, the front of it.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much, because I definitely want to push the issue, because I would have stopped easily, and then to try to, just try to run us off the road, that was crazy.
In the corner, I'll show her.
All right, sir.
Right there at Chestnut, and there's a little liquor store there on Chestnut.
Yep.
That's right where you would be able to tell that we slowed down to look at this Jeep. We didn't stop, and the light in front of us, so she's honking, going nuts. We can't go nowhere anyway.
Right.
And the guy that was turning in that badass Jeep Gladiator is all blacked out, big time. It was pretty neat, but he thought because when we did start off again, he was looking at her because she tried to dice in between us, and that was close to him. And I just went over to the left, she was in the right, and as I went up to get ready to take that left, she just sped up and tried to cut me off, and I was barely going to go around her there was no traffic, and I was just going to take that left.
So you were going to take a left-hand turn off of Myrtle? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was going to get away from her. Instead of keeping going down Myrtle, she got into to our lane, so I went over to the left lane, and then when I was going south, I was going to take a left just to get away from her. I think it might have even been Zerner Street I was going to take a left on.
Well, how were you
right past that. It was right in between that block of Druid and Turner.
How were you trying to get away from her if you were following her? I'm confused.
No, I wasn't following her. I was in the left lane. I was in the lane behind her. Then I just went to the other lane and I was going to cut a left. And she brake checked.
All right. Sir, I can only talk to one person at a time. All right, can you kind of tell her to... okay, all right. So,
sorry about that.
All right. I'll let you know the outcome, sir. Do you know why I asked you to come here today?
Yes. To begin with, I didn't flee any scene of any accident. If I could explain, it was the corner. I was driving down Myrtle.
Oh, hold on, before you do that. I'm just going to ask you: were you involved in an accident earlier today?
When they sideswiped me, yes.
Okay, all right. So, with that being said, I just have to read you this real quick. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you or you being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question. If you wish, you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand these rights I've explained to you?
Yes.
Having these rights in mind, will you talk to me?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what happened?
So I was driving down Myrtle, and it was the Chestnut was the cross street, and I come up behind. I was in the right-hand lane, and there were two cars and a truck in the left-hand lane, and I pulled up behind. I don't know if it was a Mercedes-Benz or a Lexus, like a 2000 white something or other vehicle, and the driver of the vehicle had both hands out the window, flipping the bird off to whoever was in the cars in the left-hand lane, and they were at a complete stop at a green light. So it was Chestnut, and the light was green.
You were on Myrtle.
I was on Myrtle.
What, right or left lane?
I was in the right-hand lane, and they were in the right-hand lane directly in front of me, and they were at a full stop at a green light, and there was about maybe like 3 feet or 3 yards in front of them up to the light.
At Myrtle and Court, Chestnut right there.
Yes, and I pulled up on them, behind them, while they were in the act of road rage with somebody else. The driver had both of his hands out the window, flipping them off.
What driver? The one in front of you?
The driver in front of me. The people in the left-hand lane weren't doing anything. The driver that was in front of me that was at
What other vehicle was that?
stop at a green.
That they were flicking off?
I have no idea. There were two cars. They were both dark in the left-hand lane, and then there was a truck, like a pickup truck behind them, and I don't know if he was flipping off.
So what happened after that?
So I laid on the horn because they were stopped at a green light,
Right.
busy flipping somebody off. And then the passenger turns around and starts flipping me off, and they start laughing because I'm laying on the horn and they're not going at a green light. They're too busy
You were by yourself?
instigating with, I was by myself.
Okay.
They were too busy instigating something with the people next to them. So I'm like, okay, well, forget this. So I get into the left-hand lane behind the two cars and the truck, and I pass them. And then I get back into the right-hand lane just after Chestnut. I get back into the right-hand lane, and they come
In
flying
front of them?
in front of them.
Okay.
Yes. And then they came flying past and swooped, sideswiped the car, and swooped
Sideswipe what car?
this one. So they sideswiped the Rubicon, and then got in front of me, and I tried to go and slammed on their brakes. And I hadn't done anything wrong. All I did was honk at them for stopping at a green light while they were, being obnoxious kids or whatever. So I tried to go around them. I stopped in the middle of the road to check in. I was going to get out and see if there was damage and report it. I actually wanted to go straight to a police station. Oh, I'll get there. So they're in the right-hand lane and they're going, and I start going. I was going to turn left, but I was heading to the
So you're saying they come around you and then they sideswiped and then got in front of you? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. I was in the right-hand lane. They sideswiped, got in front of me. They were in the right-hand lane. I got into the left-hand lane and realized I needed to be in this lane to turn. I just didn't want to be anywhere near them. I was trying to separate myself from them so I could stop and look at the damage and assess the damage. So they were in the right-hand lane. I don't know the name of the street, but it's where there are gravestones on either side, and it turns out if you're in the left-hand lane, you have to turn left, and if you're in the right-hand lane, you have to turn right, and I needed to go right. So I got behind them, and they were after we rounded the curve, they were in the right-hand lane. I was in the left-hand lane, and this was right about the time I noticed they got behind me and started filming me. And it wasn't even the passenger that was filming me, it was the driver. He didn't have his hands on the steering wheel. He was filming me with his
What
phone.
happened after they sideswiped you and come in front of you? What happened?
that,
And then you came over to the left. And then what happened?
I got back behind them. They were ahead of me. They turned right.
What part of the car hit you?
I don't know. It felt like, I honestly thought that they had swiped along the full side of the car, but I don't know where exactly they hit me. But it felt like I felt the car move, so I know that they sideswiped me. So they were ahead of me. We went around the curve. I got into the left-hand lane and turned left. They got behind me, started filming me, and started following me. And I was really nervous. I called my fiance and asked him to call the police on my behalf and say, these people are following me. I just witnessed them road raging somebody else at an intersection. Can you please call the police and let them know? Can they meet me at the Mission, or can they meet me at your house or something? And he said, don't worry about it, just come home. And I said, no, these people are following me. I'm going to drive to a police station. I would feel more comfortable driving to the police station. Near my house, there's a police station on Bayshore Drive right there next to the Wells Fargo. So I wanted to go straight to the police station and pull in there, since these people were following me and filming me. Why did you do that? I should have. He said, no, don't worry about it. Just come meet me at my house. It's okay. We'll call and report it. And when I got to meet with Kurt, he looked at the vehicle and said that we only had to report it if there was like damage to the vehicle, like certain amount of damage to the vehicle. So he said, don't worry about reporting it. I'm like, we should report it because they were following me and filming me, and these people were very clearly trying to instigate something with somebody. And I wish that I'd had a witness of one of the cars that they were already in an altercation with when I...
So where did you stop down here?
He would know what the street was. I don't know if it was.
Why didn't you just pull up here if you lived here?
I did. I pulled up here, and he was down at Winter Wonderland or something like that. So he had me leave.
On foot or another vehicle?
On foot.
Okay.
He was on his way to I don't know where. So I actually came back here first, hoping to call you and report it. But when he said that there wasn't any damage to the vehicle, and there was no... I mean, that we were supposed to report it if there was damage, not to bother you all if there was, like, needlessly. So.
All right. So the impact was you were in the right lane, the other vehicle was in the left lane, and it came over and swiped
they
you.
sideswiped me and then cut me off and slammed on their brakes. So I went around them.
Okay. All right. Just give me a minute. All right, sir. Just some food for thought.
Yes, sir.
Just like I explained to her, you never leave the scene of an accident. Okay. I know you told her that you were going to take care of it. What were your plans?
Well, to keep her out of harm's way, because she said they were following her.
Sure.
And so she had already, obviously wasn't at the scene of the accident. She said she stopped, they kept going. So then she kept going, and then they ended up following her. So my plan was just get her home and get her calmed down, because she was all frazzled, and then go get on my computer and look it up and see what do I have to do in this, because that's normally what I do, just find out. I thought the rule was if there wasn't $500 of damage to a vehicle, then you don't have to report. But I forgot.
Unless the two exchange information.
Yes.
But
she tried to stop, but they didn't stop to exchange.
One party can't take off from the other one because that's a hit and run.
Yes.
It's a misdemeanor, leaving the scene of an accident.
Exactly.
However, obviously the stories are inconsistent, but what she's telling me is, and then looking at the damage to the other vehicle, it makes sense. However, you can't leave from the scene, or if you do, go to a safe place, pull over, and then call 911 or call the non-emergency line.
And I thought I screwed up, because I thought, well, it's not $500 of damage, so we don't report. So that's all on me. If someone needs to get a ticket or something or go to jail on that, that was me.
No, I'm not doing that. But I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know next time.
Okay.
Make sure you call to report it. All right.
And that was when they sideswiped and got in front. So I wanted to drive to the police station. But
Yeah. Well, and you should have, or at least called us while you were driving, and we would have met you somewhere. Because you just don't ever want to put yourself in a bad position,
I completely understand.
But you also want to be safe at the same time. I'm not saying anything you did wrong, but when there's an accident, there's an accident. By Florida statute, you're supposed to stay, but at the same time, you need to keep yourself safe. So I totally get it.
So I'm getting inconsistent stories here. So let's start from point A. Explain to me what happened.
Right there by the little liquor store, we're slowed down looking at a Jeep.
You're at Myrtle and Chestnut.
Yeah.
The
So
liquor
she's
store's on the
honking.
left.
Yeah, she's honking behind me on the hill.
Okay.
We can't go nowhere. So as soon as we are able to go, she jumps around me.
Hang on. Back up. What were you and somebody else doing before she honked that horn at you?
What do you mean?
Were you getting into it with somebody else, giving them the finger, yelling and screaming?
No,
at
there's a
them?
bad. My company is Gladiator Recovery.
So you were checking out a
There's
Jeep, right?
Badass Jeep Gladiator.
All right. So the light you were checking out the Jeep, the light turned green. You didn't recognize it at that point.
No. It was red. But when it
Okay.
turned green, she was honking like hell behind me.
Right, because it turned green, right?
Right.
Okay.
And I
Okay. Good. So go ahead.
and then she rode around me super fast. And then as I'm going, I'm not even trying to catch with her. Then she jams on the brakes.
In front of you.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's when we're both in the right lane.
Okay.
Then I tried to go around her, and then she just came right in our lane. I actually went over just a little bit more. Like I said, I was going to take that left and just get the hell away from it, you know.
So you get in the left lane, and then you try to go back into the right lane in front of her,
Well, yeah, I swerved around her.
because that's exactly what it looks like.
She's jacked in both of the lanes, stopped.
This is from her tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, most of that will probably come out.
No, right now, I just drove it. I'm taking it to my mechanic to see if he can help me with the shock in the front.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If the accident on your car was up here, I would definitely say it was from her changing the lane improperly. Your damage
She was
is
in
here.
both of the
Listen,
lanes.
you're not listening.
Right.
The damage is here. This is your fault.
No.
She has no
There's no
damage
way.
on her car.
There's no
that
way.
tire was straight.
There's no
Well,
way.
listen, that's
I went around her. If
well,
she didn't
listen.
jump on me,
Well, listen.
we
Right,
would've-
but you
we
said
would've
you
never
went
touched.
around her.
We would have never touched.
Right. You said you went around her, and then you came back into the right lane. That's what you just said.
Yeah, you
Absolutely,
just
that's
got
what I
that
said.
saying.
She hit me.
No.
As I was going around her, she hit me.
How did she hit you? Because you're saying that she was in both lanes.
She was in both lanes.
Okay.
I went to
Okay.
go around her when she jammed up, and she darted right at.
Okay. She was-
I would have missed her if she.
She was in
didn't
the
dart.
right. She was in the right lane, and you were in the left lane, right?
She was in both lanes
Okay.
at that time.
All right. The primary lane that she was in was the right lane.
Starting
You
off,
you
right.
went over to the left lane,
Yep.
and then you tried to get in front of her.
No, I was gonna take a left.
But that's
Until
what you just said. You tried to get in front of her.
Listen, until she darted and blocked both ways, that's when I went to go around. I was already in the lane over here. I was trying not to. She was jamming on the brakes.
Okay.
She sped up and then she cut off both lanes.
Explain your maneuver back into the right lane. What did you do from the left lane?
When she was stopped right there, I went around.
Okay.
And then she darted and hit me. She was at a
But she
stop.
was-
I would have missed her.
But she was in her lane the whole time.
No,
She
absolutely
sped up.
not. Absolutely not.
Well, all I'm saying is there's no way that she hit you
There is a way.
because
Absolutely.
you came over to her lane.
I didn't come into her lane. She darted on
here's
me.
the bottom line. This is where investigation has led us to. You're going to be at fault for this accident. You're getting a ticket, and if you don't agree with it, you can take it to
Definitely
court.
going to take it to court.
That's
Okay.
fine.
File on press.
Okay.
That's fine.
We
And
were
unfortunately, the
stopped.
great thing about it, that's what court's for.
So it's a moving citation.
She left the scene of an accident. Does
She
she
left
get
the
the
scene of an
charge for
accident?
leaving the scene?
You were trying to chase her down.
Nobody was trying to chase her. We didn't catch up. We didn't.
You
even
just
try-
sent me
We didn't
videos.
try to go after her
Okay,
until after
all right,
she was
all right,
gone.
All right, can I do the talking? You sent me videos of you chasing after her.
Not chasing. Look at the speed limit. We stayed the speed limit the whole time.
Why were you following
The
her?
woman, she was afraid.
Because
And when
when we
she got
stopped
stopped
there,
and where she
when
went,
we
she called
stopped,
us.
she kept going.
Right. So my question is, you
I
already,
had to get the tag number and
but you already got the tag. So why are you following her?
I didn't. That you can tell in the video where we say that we're getting the tag. We weren't able to get up on it close enough.
Okay.
If she didn't dart out and hit me, we would have never touched. When she jammed over and tried to stop, if she didn't dart out when I went around her, if she didn't dart at me, she would have never hit me. She hit me. It was
Well,
purposely.
The problem we run into, it's going to be he said, she said thing. Okay, there's no independent witnesses. Okay, the
We
damage.
can only go by what the damage tells us, and from what your damage tells us, you entered her lane. There's no way.
There's no way
she
I
entered your
entered her
lane. to
lane.
hit
She
you.
came in
Listen,
both
I'm not
lanes.
here to argue with you. I'm just telling you what we've been
How do
trained
you
to
come
view.
to that conclusion?
Because if
Look at the way this is going. Okay, you hit her tire when you cut right in front of her into the right lane.
yeah, if
Look
she
at this,
hit
look
you,
at this.
If she had hit
It
you,
would be the other way.
there would be way more damage, and she would have had damage. She had no damage on her
So
car.
we have 2 lanes.
That's
She
all
was
tire rub, where
she
you
was
tried to change lanes into her.
No.
Okay.
If
Well,
she
listen,
didn't
you can
dart-
say
if
no
she
all you
didn't
want to.
dart
That's
at
what
me.
we've been trained to determine. That's what we've determined.
She left the scene
You
of the
can take
accident.
if you
and
don't
you're
agree,
telling me
you
that
can
she was
agree.
scared?
We're taking it to court.
So there's no charges?
There will be no
she came back
charges.
to the scene.
That's cool.
She came back to the scene.
No.
All right, this is your citation.
Thank you.
All right, you have 3 options. Option 1, you can pay the citation.
Absolutely
Option 2, if you're eligible, there's a defensive driving course that keeps the points off your license. Option 3, you can take it to court and plead not guilty. Any 3 of these options, you have 30 days. All right. All right.
Appreciate you.